10 questions to ask a financial advisor before hiring them. Number 1, are they a fiduciary 100% of the time? This question is really important because if someone's going to be giving you financial advice, you want them acting in your best interest 100% of the time. Unfortunately, in our industry, people can wear a broker-dealer hat, but also a registered investment advisor hat, and you're never quite sure if they're giving advice which hat they're wearing. And so you want to make sure that they are a fiduciary 100% of the time. Will you describe your education, experience, and credentials? This is a tough question for me because I've met folks who have great education, experience, and credentials that I'd never actually hire as my financial advisor, and vice versa, who I would hire. And so this question, I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm not looking that they went to a certain school or that they have a certain degree. What I'm looking for is, do they have some credentials in the industry? Are they taking continuing education? Are they furthering their knowledge? And more than anything, what path did they take to get here? And why are they still doing this, right? You want to make sure that they're passionate about what they're doing and the people that they're serving. Number 3, who is your independent custodian? This is a critical one. If I'm hiring a financial advisor, I want them to use an independent custodian. If you've ever heard of Bernie Madoff, he was able to execute the largest Ponzi scheme in history because he didn't use an independent custodian. Clients wrote him a check, that money went into a bank account, and then he used some of that money to pay off investors when they wanted to exit. Independent custodians are the people who are actually going to hold your funds, and so you get an independent accounting each month on a statement or their online portal where you can go on and see exactly how your money is invested, the transactions that took place, and anything else you want to see happening inside your accounts. So for me, it's really important that someone uses an independent custodian. Number 4, how does your company get paid and how are you compensated? This is an important one and a 2-part question. I find a lot of people will ask how the financial advisor is compensated, but they don't actually know how the company gets paid. And that's an important one because if someone's giving advice, the financial advisor themselves may not actually get compensated for certain referrals that they make or insurance products that they sell, but the company could get paid. And that could be an encouragement from the company to do certain actions or to provide certain advice. And so you want to know if the company you're working with, how they can get compensated, because that may influence the recommendations that you're receiving. And most people are willing to ask how the financial advisor gets compensated. It's a pretty standard question and it's a really important one. In this industry, fee only is a popular model, and that means that they can't get compensated by commissions either through insurance or certain investment products that they recommend. Other advisors are fee-based, and that means that they may get compensated by insurance commissions or other investment products. So just be aware of how your advisor gets compensated, but then also how does the company get paid? Those are 2 really important data points to know. Number 5, what are the total costs of working with you and what's included in that fee? This is a 2-part question again, but it's really important. You want to know what your total all-in costs will be, and that includes the financial advisor fee, if there's any investment solutions, what are the expense ratios of the mutual funds or the ETFs or any other costs that may happen. But more importantly, what do you get for that fee? If they do tax planning, is that included? If they do tax preparation, is that a separate fee or is it included in the financial planning engagement? Will they talk to you about college planning? You want to know everything that the advisor is capable of offering and making sure that you take advantage of those services. Number 6, what's your investment philosophy and how do you select investments? This is a big one that you want to figure out before an advisor ever touches your money. With the investment philosophy, you want to make sure if you're a passive investor, are they a passive investor? Or do they believe in market timing? Do you believe in market timing? You want to make sure that your philosophies align in advance so you know how they're going to buy and sell, how they're going to rebalance, what sort of investments they're going to pick. And then the second part of this question, how do you select the investments? This is just a good data point to know. Is it the financial advisor choosing? Is it an investment committee? Do they have a preset menu of options? Is it only proprietary funds or do they have to include some proprietary funds? Or can they use anything available in the investment universe? Knowing how they select investments is a really critical piece of what's going to happen with your financial future. So ask them, how do they pick their investments and who's selecting them? Number 7, will you describe your typical client? This one's really important because you want to know who they're serving. It's okay if you go to a general financial advisor that helps with a wide variety of topics, but I found personally when people specialize with someone going through a certain stage in life or a certain experience or they have a certain profession, oftentimes they can tailor the experience, and more than anything, they know the questions to ask in advance. I like the phrase, we don't know what we don't know. If you don't know to ask the question and the financial advisor doesn't have experience working with someone in your situation, something may go unnoticed, and that's problematic. Whereas if you're working with someone who only works with your type of person, whether that's a certain career or a certain life stage, they're more likely to ask those questions for you and bring ideas to your attention. Number 8, who will I interact with at your company? I would say this is probably one of the most overlooked questions that people don't ask. And this one's important because if you're working with a team instead of just one financial advisor, you may have more interaction with someone else on the team, right? If they have a team where you have a financial advisor, a service coordinator, and then an associate advisor, you may be actually talking to the service coordinator or the associate advisor more. They may be your first point of contact when you email or when you call or have any interaction with the company. And so if you're going to be working with them, you want to make sure that you're going to get along with them and you like their personality too. Number 9. What does a good client relationship look like for you? This is my favorite question out of all of them. And I like this question because it's going to reveal a lot of different information. When you ask this question, some things may come out, such as how often will you be talking? In what form will you be talking? Will it be in person, email, newsletter, phone calls? It's also going to tell you their expectation of you, but then also what you can expect from them. And if they're not talking about these types of things, feel free to dive in a little bit deeper and ask questions that further conversation here. I find that if someone asks what an ideal client relationship looks like, they're going to elaborate. It's less of a yes or no question and it's more open-ended. And so you're going to get eyes and ears into what that might look like for you down the road. Number 10, what do you enjoy most about your job and what do you like the least? I like this question because it'll give you an opportunity to see where the financial advisor lights up. Where are they passionate? Where do they draw energy from client relationships? What do they enjoy most about financial planning? It can tell you a lot about a person, what they enjoy, but I also like the second part of this question about what they like least. Every job has their downsides, including financial planning, and are they open and honest about what those downsides are? I find oftentimes if someone's willing to describe what they don't like, that'll give you an idea of who they are as a person. Hiring a financial planner is no easy task. Feel free to use this list, tweak it, make your own questions, use these, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Financial advisors know you may be interviewing multiple people. Take this opportunity and take the time to ask these questions, get to know them better. Make sure they're going to be a good fit because your financial planner that you're working with, they may be one of the most impactful professional relationships that you have. So good luck in interviewing.